did AEW Dynamite continue the momentum AEW Double or Nothing started? We discussed that and more next. Squared Circle Digest right now. All right, welcome to the Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley. This is the AEW Dynamite recap. Last night, not a bad wrestling show. Some things, you know what? Look, they worked. They got the response they wanted from the crowd. Am I going to agree with everything that they do? Never. Never. But it was a good show. It started with Mercedes Moné coming to the ring, which was, to me, why didn't Swerve get the first? Again, I always feel like in this day and age, I feel like Swerve is not getting the value as the AEW champion that he deserves. He's getting TV time. But why isn't your heavyweight champion starting the show? I get it, AEW Dynamite, TBS champion, Mercedes Moné. But you were doing that to set up the Sky Blue main event. I think, why not make that the second segment? Why not bring out why not bring out Swerve and have him cut a promo about the match last night, have Christian and Killswitch, I keep wanting to call him Luchasaurus, Killswitch get involved, and then now you set up for that match for later on in the night, instead of just setting up for the Mercedes Sky Blue match. I get it. Sky Blue attacked her. They kind of finished that up in a bow tie. And I'm not going to sit here and fault AEW because I've always been on them about them not telling stories. And when they tell stories, they kind of fall to the wayside. They are starting to put bows on a lot of the stories that have been told. I'm not going to sit here and say, I want to see it. And then when I see it, be like, they're not doing it right. No, I disagree with the fact that it was the first segment. I would have loved to seen Swerve after the match with Christian on Sunday night. Sorry, someone said last night. On Sunday night, come out and start the show. Give him a little bit of that rub as the heavyweight champion. Make his title reign seem important. Mercedes Moné is Mercedes Moné. She's going to, and the second segment, you could have done that. And then you could have rolled out with the match of Swerve against Killswitch. It just, to me, it didn't have to start with Mercedes Moné. You kind of make her feel more important than your AEW heavyweight champion. And right now, I feel like Swerve, after the Christian match, and again, the word today is momentum. You had the momentum there to keep him going. And again, I don't think that you hurt his momentum in this match because he wins. I don't understand why he has to wrestle main event matches or, big time names every week, but he does cut the hair of Killswitch, who had yanked out his hair during a promo earlier in the buildup. So again, they put another bow on one of the stories. So I'm not going to sit here and fault them for the way that the story ended. I would have liked to seen it placed differently in the show to give it more meaning. I would have loved to seen a promo and Christian and Killswitch come out, and at some point Swerve says, tonight it's an eye for an eye, or in this case, hair for hair. And then, at the end, he cuts it. I would have loved to have seen that build up more than Mercedes in the ring for Sky Blue to come in and be like, here, watch this. It's the promo, the one where Mercedes gets attacked, and then Sky Blue says, well, I'm not done yet, and then attacks her in the ring to set up for a match later on in the card. Not the main event, a match later on in the card. You could have done the same thing with your heavyweight champion. I feel like Swerve needed to keep that momentum going. He got it with the win over Christian in a great match at Double or Nothing. I don't know that, and we'll talk about later on what happened even further on in the show, which is kind of interesting. Then you had the match for Mercedes and Sky Blue got set up, and then it was TV time with the Learning Tree. And I have said I wanted less Chris Jericho. If they're going to do this with Chris Jericho, I take back. I love the fact that he comes out, he does the show. He's like, who wants more TV time? And he says, God knows I do. You know, like that's Chris Jericho. I don't want to see him wrestling every week. I want to see this Chris Jericho. They bring out Brian Keith and with the learning tree. And you get more, you know, again, when he did the Inner Circle, he does the Jericho Appreciation Society. He lifts up the talent that he's there with. I don't need to see him wrestle every week. I want this Chris Jericho. Keep this Chris Jericho. Let Big Bill, let Brian Keith in the ring, Chris Jericho every once in a while. Make him that attraction that he deserves to be. I don't need to see him every week. I'll see him every week if he's doing the TV time with Learning Tree. I like what they did there. I'll watch that every week. I'll soak it up like biscuits and gravy. And if you know me, you know I love my biscuits and gravy. So it goes on. They do the segment. Hook comes out. Samoa Joe's music hits, and he comes from somewhere on the side. And they whisper something in Hook's ear. We find out later. It's kind of like, they do it on our time. And you put Samoa Joe and Hook together. You breathe some fresh air into this angle, which I've been against for a while. But last night you put some fresh air into the Jericho Hook angle. And now maybe I can see a little bit more and watch it a little bit more, because now you've got me intrigued. This is the storytelling that I wanted from AEW. It had been missing for a little while. Now it looks like it's coming back. And I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. I love pro wrestling. I'm going to pick apart every bit of it, whether you're AEW, WWE. I'm going to pick apart because, hey, I might want to see something else, see it done some other way. Doesn't make it right or wrong. To some it will, to some it won't. That's what the beauty of pro wrestling is all about. We could sit side by side, watch the same thing, look at each other and say two different things we saw, because it's all in the eye of the beholder. That's what makes sports entertainment so damn good. Getting back, Don Callis comes out, the Callis family, the contract for Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy at Double or Nothing was wearing a black shirt. Did it mean something? Tonight his music plays and he comes out in the white shirt. I always said all along, I believe Trent Beretta would be the one that ultimately becomes a part of the Don Callis family. Orange Cassidy comes into the ring, rips up the contract. Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander, the new and improved duo of Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander, come out and say, here is the newest member of the Don Callis family. And it's Trent Beretta in an all-black suit, just standing in the corner, takes out Orange Cassidy, beats him down. It's kind of like they're staring at each other, Callis and Beretta. Then they hug. Beretta, your newest member of the Don Callis family. And again, I believe this was ultimately where they were going to get to. I did not believe that Orange Cassidy would go with the Don Callis family, because I just feel like that's almost like, and again, maybe they're not on the same levels, but Cena never turned heel. I don't believe Orange Cassidy can turn heel. He's like the Ricky Steamboat right now, man. He takes the punishment. He keeps going. That's his. You can't do that as a heel. That's what makes Orange Cassidy what he is. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes from there. They did a promo backstage with Daniel Garcia. Then we saw Monet against Sky Blue. Monet gets the win. Sky Blue out. It is what it is. Then we get Chris Statlander, a promo in the back. The protector is no more. The women's locker room is going to need protection from me. I am here for this new Chris Statlander. I like this Chris Statlander. Give me more. And I'm here for Monet versus Statlander, if that's the way they go. I'm here for Timeless Tony Storm versus Chris Statlander. And can I ask you a question? When I was talking about the swerve, the AEW title was defended on TV, or was an eliminator match. Either way, the champion wrestled on TV. Did Toni Storm wrestle on TV? She's the AEW Women's Champion. No, you had the TBS champion wrestle. Again, you make the AEW Women's title mean something when it's defended. Timeless Toni Storm very rarely will wrestle on a Dynamite. And when she does, it's a tag team or to set up for an angle that to build on the thing. Not wrestling every week. That is my point with the Swerve Strickland thing. Right or wrong, I feel you take away by having them on every single week. Then after the Statlander, of course, they did the MJF package. A little disappointed, but can understand MJF not being there the week after, or 3 days after re-debuting on AEW Double or Nothing. I thought maybe they could have got something, him leaving the arena, something more live than just a package. But again, it was something, and then they announced that he will be there next week. And then Roosh is the one that kind of challenges him later on in the show, or at least just says, calls him out at least. Anyways, the EVPs come out next. The TNT title is stripped from Adam Copeland, who is injured. And then they do a great thing with Okada. I love when Okada just at the beginning of the segment, grabs the microphone, looks out into the crowd, and just says, "Shut up, bitches." They are using Okada so well. And you know what? Is he wrestling every week? He's the Continental Champion. Is he wrestling every week? No. You see him with the title over his shoulder. You see him being gifted cars. You see him and it's still building up, and he becomes an attraction. Why are you not doing that with Swerve? So then you get the Christopher Daniels comes out and says, no, the TNT title will end up being decided in a ladder match. And the qualifying matches will start this Friday on, well, he said Dynamite, but I think he meant Rampage. But the thing that I like what they're doing here is they're sending you to their other programming. They're making Rampage mean something. Now, what match they get, I don't know. But now you would, again, if you want to follow the tournament, if you're a wrestling fan and you need to follow the tournament, you're going to watch Rampage. Good move by AEW. They did a Swerve promo in the back where he talks about the gauntlet match that was about to go down, the AEW Forbidden Door gauntlet match, where the winner will get a shot at him at Forbidden Door. Then, as I said, they did the Swerve promo. So it's one of those things to where, I like what they did with the, Roosh promo. I think I said Swerve with the Roosh promo. And he challenges or sends out a thing to MJF, a call out to MJF. So we'll see what happens there on the next Dynamite with MJF and Roosh. So it was Forbidden Door Gauntlet is next. And then the order of the participants was Jay White from AEW, Pac from AEW, Mystico from CMLL, Will Ospreay from AEW, Umino from New Japan, Claudio from AEW, Leo Rush from New Japan, Orange Cassidy from AEW, and Hechicero from CMLL. 9 participants in the gauntlet match. And in the end, Will Ospreay gets the win and will head to Forbidden Door. The new international champion wins the title from Roderick Strong at AEW Double or Nothing. And now he goes to try to be champ at AEW Forbidden Door. I don't know that I necessarily agree with the decision here. This is your chance to, again, Forbidden Door's always been usually your AEW title defended against somebody else from another company, Forbidden Door. This time you have 2 AEW participants going at each other. Not only that, it's probably your 2 faces of the company right now at this point. Swerve and Will Ospreay. or at least your two of your bright points, other than the Elite, of course, right now with what they're doing with Tony Khan. They're your two faces. And now you're going to have them collide at AEW Forbidden Door. I feel like this match should have been at AEW All In. If that's the show you're going to make your WrestleMania for AEW, your big show, your Super Bowl show for AEW, I feel like Swerve against Ospreay should have been at AEW All In. I'm going to let this play out. I want to see how it plays out, how they set this up. Because to me, as I said before, you really devalue Swerve's AEW Heavyweight Championship if he loses at Forbidden Door. Do you hurt Will Ospreay's momentum if he loses at Forbidden Door? Unless you work an angle to where whoever the next feud for Will Ospreay costs him the title match, or whoever the next feud for Swerve is, you cost him the match or help Swerve win the match so he keeps the AEW heavyweight title. Very interesting. Again, this does put intrigue and want you to watch, make you watch Collision Dynamite to see how they roll this out. Also, this week on Collision, you can catch Will Ospreay in action as he takes on Kyle O'Reilly. Very good, interesting match. I feel like Kyle O'Reilly is starting to become the 2024 Barry Horowitz. Great wrestler, great performer, makes others better, doesn't get the wins. I'll just leave it at that. Kyle O'Reilly, I hope, after this, hope he gets some run to the top. I would love to see some more Kyle O'Reilly, honestly. And the fact of everything that he's been through, I love that he's getting these matches regardless. But I would like to see him get a little bit of a push too. So there you go. AEW Dynamite recap in the books. Do I think they kept the momentum going from AEW Double or Nothing? I don't think they hit a brick wall. I think they had a little bump in the road. We'll see where some of these stories continue to develop. The Chris Statlander, the TV time with the Learning Tree. Mercedes Moné, who's her next opponent? Swerve, Will Ospreay, how do they build up to Forbidden Door? And then also, what other matches get added to Forbidden Door? A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. This AEW, keep it rolling. I will do the AEW Collision recap that will come out on Sunday right here. Squared Circle Digest. Don't forget, please hit the subscription button. Subscribe, hit the notifications. We got recaps coming out. We're going to talk also. I'm going to have another video coming out. AEW talked about, Tony Khan talked about possibly 3-hour shows. Do you like that? Do you not like it? I'm going to have a video coming out soon on that. Also, you can get some of the talk. Jalen Waddle signs a contract with the Dolphins, an extension. Tua next. Javon Holland next. We know it's not going to be Jalen Phillips, at least right now. But we got sports talk as well. It's the Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel. Please go hit the subscription. Follow me on X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Sean_Stanley11. Appreciate all of your support. Thank you. And we'll see you on the next video right here. Stanley Media House Network.